This is the second in a series of videos to illustrate how to put together a spending plan that deals with school loans. To do all the videos, a fictional college graduate has been invented with a bachelor's degree in accounting. As was covered on the first video, our student just graduated and has accepted a job in a Midwest city as an entry-level accountant, starting on August 1st. He is in the process of creating a workable spending plan for when his federal student loan payments need to start. The first step in that process was creating an estimated monthly spending plan. Our graduate did this using the monthly estimated budget form, and much to his disappointment, his first pass didn't balance. He found himself overspending his income by $417 a month. This step, which will be covered in this video, is how he used the budget analysis form to bring his spending plan into balance. On your screen in front of you is a blank budget analysis form. This will be used for this step of the process. For starters, our college graduate enters his income per year into the box to the right of income per year. His starting salary at his new position will be $35,170. The monthly number entered directly below is $2,931. Even as an accountant, our new college graduate doesn't want to be buried in minutia. As a result, he is ignoring pennies and just doing the form with numbers rounded to whole dollars. Moving down a few lines, the existing spending plan column should contain the category totals straight from the monthly estimated budget. As with the prior form, the green boxes have pre-entered formulas to save the extra steps of doing totals or simple subtractions. This form is available as an Excel workbook on the www.saynotocollegedebt.com website. Without spending a lot of time going back over what was established on the monthly estimated budget form, these numbers will just fill in quickly. The next column to the right on this form gets a little more complicated. The sets of guideline percentages created by Larry Burkett and Crown Financial Ministries can give an idea of what might be considered normal for a spending plan. Please recognize that these guidelines are not commandments handed down to Larry Burkett by God carved into stone tablets. They are just guidelines and can be used to help see where a spending plan might be more easily adjusted. You will see that illustrated a little further on in the video. To avoid spending time to go into all the available guideline percentages, the appropriate set of percentages has been pre-typed in a column to the right of the budget analysis form. This has not been done in the Excel version of the form on the www.saynotocollegedebt.com website. However, copies of all the available guidelines can be found at www.crown.org. Do a search on spending guides. They are free to download and cover singles, married couples, and different family sizes. There are also more detailed directions on the crown.org website for the use of the spending guides. To enter the numbers into the guideline spending plan column, highlight the top blank workbook cell in that column to the right of tithe/giving. Enter an equals sign, highlight the cell with the $2,931 in it, type in an asterisk denoting multiplication, type in 10% and press the Enter key. Note that the 10% is in the percentage guidelines column to the right of the schedule. The cell on the schedule where the formula was just entered now shows $293. Highlight the cell under the $293 and enter a formula into the cell starting with an equals sign. Highlight the cell with the $2,931 in it. Type in an asterisk denoting multiplication. Type in 21.9% and press the Enter key. The result of that formula is $642. The next cell down has a formula in it already and shows $1,996. This is the net spendable income. And this is the monthly money that our college graduate has to live on according to the guideline percentages. This money is allocated to all of the categories below it. As you will see, the percentages used in the rest of the column are applied to the net spendable income, not the income per month. Highlight the workbook cell directly below the $1,996. Type in an equals sign. Highlight the $1,996. Type in an asterisk denoting multiplication. Type in 38% and press enter again. Again, please note that the 38% is in the column to the right of the schedule on this line. The result is $758. In the guideline spending plan column across from food, the same formula is used except for using 6% rather than the 38%. In the same column across from auto, 15% is used in the formula, and so on down through category 14. Rather than take the time to do each of these individually, we will use the magic of video editing to fill in the column so we can move on. As you can see, using the guideline percentages, the total living expenses in the guideline spending plan column is $1,996. With a difference between the net spendable income and the total living expenses of $0. You can also see that the difference column has completely filled itself in using pre-existing formulas. The next step is probably going to be the hardest, as difficult decisions need to be made to bring the spending plan into balance. The difference column comes in very handy for this step. Remembering that the guidelines are only to help and not hard and fast rules, look for the largest numbers, either positive or negative, in the difference column. Those are most likely the easiest places to make adjustments and to bring the spending plan into balance. Our college graduate has done that and has found places to adjust the spending plan and bring it into balance. Let's see what our college graduate found to accomplish that goal. Remember that he has to deal with $417 a month of spending beyond what he earns. His first inclination is to find somewhere to bring in some more income. This alternative was covered in the Say No to College Debt book, which indicated it should be a last resort. On that basis, our college graduate decided to find some places to cut expenses. Interestingly, the first thing he does is to increase an expense. Having read about the benefits of tithing, he has decided to trust God. Since he wants to trust God to provide for him, he is going to increase his giving to his church to 5% of his gross income per month. If that goes well, he will consider increasing it to a full 10%. Since God has proven himself faithful to so many people so many times, I expect that he will be giving 10% sometime in the not-too-distant future. But for now, he's going to go with the 5% and types $147 into the blank workbook cell directly under New Monthly Spending Plan. While the guideline percentages for a single adult in his income category say 21.9%, the payroll department at our college graduate's future work has more specific information for where he lives. He decides to stick with the $708 that the payroll department has told him. So he types $708 into the workbook cell directly under the 147. He now shows a monthly net spendable income of $2,076. This is the monthly money he has to live on. Since he is doing this analysis before he actually takes some of his planned steps, he is in a position to not rent a two-bedroom apartment. By renting a one-bedroom apartment, he can save enough money to bring his housing down to $817. He types that into the empty workbook cell directly under the 2,076. His mom tells him that he really doesn't have any money to save on food, so he sticks with the $125. He enters that into the next workbook cell down. Again, since he hasn't done some of the things he has planned, he decides he can go with a slightly older car. The savings on payments brings his auto category down to $241. The insurance category is still a zero. His company pays for his medical, dental, and life insurance. He is also able to reduce his minimum debt payment to $419. He does this by switching to an income-based payment plan on his federal student loan. The upside is obvious, a smaller payment. The downside, should he continue using the income-based payment plan all the way to the end, is the extra interest through the longer term of payments could run to over $20,000. He definitely does not want to pay out that additional $20,000, but really has very little choice at this point. He enters $419 into the workbook cell under the $0 and prays he'll be able to increase his payment on that loan in the near future. In the video on Debt List, how to accomplish that will be covered. Entertainment and recreation was something that our college graduate knew he might have to shrink, so he cut that in half to $200 per month. He will not eat out as much and will wait longer for the cruise. Who knows? Proverbs 22:29 says, "Do you see someone skilled in his work? They will serve before kings. They will not serve before officials of low rank." If he does excellent work, there could be promotions that he didn't count on, with more money coming in his paycheck. The clothing and savings categories were already pretty small, so they stay the same as the initial version of the spending plan. Our college graduate enters $40 and $22 into the respective workbook cells. Once again, he's going to increase a category. In talking with his parents, he realizes that $10 a month is not enough for medical costs. He raises it to $30 a month. That still could be low, but our college graduate is going to do the best he can, and he's praying that God won't allow any medical costs for more than he can manage to budget at this point. Our college graduate also increases the miscellaneous category by $30, up to $95. He feels that is a little more realistic than his first version of the spending plan. He leaves the initial number for his investments alone, as they are tied to his gross income. Typically, a person with this much debt and such a tight spending plan would not be putting anything into investments. But a 401k with a match is almost free money. It is not to be ignored lightly. Should there be a financial crisis, that retirement contribution could be temporarily eliminated to increase cash flow. Since our college graduate is going to try to get his retirement funded, that will allow him significant flexibility when he retires to do even more relief work than he could do with no nest egg. He enters $88 from the first column. With all those numbers entered, the total living expenses comes to $2,076, which spends every dollar of the $2,076 of available net spendable income. The idea is to assign a direction for every dollar that comes in, and when the money is spent, it needs to be tracked to ensure that the budget is being followed. That will be covered in the video on the monthly budget form. It's now a good idea for our college graduate to redo the monthly estimated budget form to reflect the new category totals from the far right column of the budget analysis schedule. To not chew up a lot of time, we are not going to show that here. The next step for our graduate will be to create a debt list. That will be the next video.